Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I am Ryan Clifton Bowling. Listen, I want to get right down to the news. I was reading an article from Trending Politics in reference to a group, a pro-life group, a black pro-life group, incidentally, that is coming against this idea of abortion in the black community and the damaging effects that it has contributed to the black community. So listen, this article blew me away. And so I'm going to read this article because it's a article filled with statistical data and facts that I really believe you guys need to know. So I'm going to read this article in its entirety. And when I'm finished with that article, I'm going to focus on an area in the black community that really needs to be addressed. Because I was reading some things in my researching, and I was reading some things about Margaret Sanger's that I already knew about her, but I was reading some things about Margaret Sanger's where I literally read her letter. I don't want to go too far ahead, but I Googled it, found her letter, I read it. And I'm going to really address a major aspect in the black community, and that is the black ministers, the black church ministers who support this. So I'm going to read this article, and then I'm going to give you my opinion on how the black church, meaning the black churches, are supporting this horror of abortion in the black communities. So let's go on here. Let's start. And the title of this article is Investigative Report Reveals Abortion Industry's Latest Attempt to Target Black Women. The pro-abortion industry originally relied on public ignorance and science's incomplete understanding of the stages of developing babies in the womb. As a result, a racist eugenist named Margaret Sanger worked tirelessly through Planned Parenthood to abort as many people of color and with disabilities as she could for the benefit of society. This is her belief. She really believed this stuff. After the truth came out about Sanger, some of the Planned Parenthoods removed images and the mention of her from their facilities. Decades later, pro-life groups in the black community are speaking out and working to put an end to the abortion industry, especially in urban areas. And let me say this before I read any further. It's so encouraging to know that there are pro-life groups in the black community. There are black people who are for pro-life, who are for protecting our unborn babies. And you don't have to, I mean, no offense to people who are white that is doing it, but it's good to hear black people truly care about the black community. It's good to hear that. And not have to go outside to try to get things done in the black community. We ought to have enough love for our own community to stop some of this madness. But let me go on. In Washington, D.C. on Wednesday, the Center for Urban Renewal and Education, CURE, C-U-R-E, released its investigative report on the latest strategy of the abortion industry to target the black community. CURE, a policy and research center devoted to fighting poverty and helping black families to develop their communities, held a press conference unveiling its report titled The Impact of Abortion on the Black Community. And I get this. This is heavy. CURE explains in a press announcement its new report delves deeply into the latest tactics of the abortion industry to especially target African Americans and adds, Planned Parenthood, the nation's leading abortion provider, has recently acknowledged and sought to distance itself from their racist founder, Margaret Sanger. Yet the intentions of the organization remain the same, promoting abortion in minority communities. They are building mega clinics and promoting abortion pills in these communities, even as they have exploited the pandemic to make chemical abortions more widely available on college campuses via telemedicine and through the mail. Unbelievable. And I did a video on that. You can look that up later. Speakers included Star Parker of CURE, Jonathan Alexandra of Liberty Council Action, Ryan Bumbarger of Radiance Foundation, Necho Carroll of CURE, Marjorie Damsfelser of the Susan B. Anthony List, and Angela Minter of Sisters for Life. Now, here's something interesting from their website with the title, The Impact of Abortion on the Black Community. Listen to this. Star Parker and fellow leaders refute Appellant's arguments, that racism and systematic discrimination are justification for publicly funded abortions, arguing that such a policy means hurting the black women and communities that they claim to serve. If our goal is to improve access to beneficial health care for black communities, abortion is not the way. Dr. Alveda King, pro-life leader and niece of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Abortion and racism are both symptoms of a fundamental human error. The error is thinking that when someone stands in the way of our wants, we can justify getting that person out of our lives. We create the deceptions that the other person is less worthy, less human. We are all fully human. When we face this truth, there is no justification for treating those who look different than us as lesser beings. If we simply treat other people the way we'd like to be treated, racism, abortion, and other forms of inhumanity will be things of the past. In 2021, Amisa Cura, friend of the court, brief that defends the state of Pennsylvania's restriction on Medicaid funding of abortion, naturally recognized leaders in the black community, including Center for Urban Renewal and Education, founder and president Star Parker, argued that black women have been subjected to the predatory objectives and actions of the abortion industry, especially Planned Parenthood. From its inception, the abortion industry has sought to control and hinder the growth of the black population, a core objective of the movement's founders. Those are strong accusations, but they're founded on factual data. Now listen to this. This heading is entitled The Abortion Consumer. Disproportionately, the leading consumer of abortion services is the African American female. According to the United States Census Bureau and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, abortion surveillance report, black women made up 15% of the childbearing population in 2018, yet obtained 33.6% of reported abortions. Wow. Black women have the highest abortion ratio in the country. Unbelievable. With 335 abortions per 1,000 live births. Percentages at these levels illustrate that about 20 million black babies have been aborted since 1973. According to CDC, states that report abortion by ethnicity show black women disproportionately lead in the numbers. For example, in Mississippi, 72% of abortions are obtained by black women. In Washington, D.C., 55%. In Michigan, 50%. And in Alabama, 62%. In many states, similar numbers are found, with black women often aborting at 2 or more times their presence in the population. Unbelievable. The prevalence of abortion facilities within and near minority communities serve as a major contributor to the rate at which black women obtain abortions. Accordingly, black women are significantly more likely to have an abortion than white women. A 2012 study released by Protecting Black Life and Outreach of Life Issues Institute used 2010 census data to conclude that 79% of Planned Parenthood's surgical abortion facilities are strategically located within walking distance of African American and or Hispanic communities. These are factual data, people. Can't nobody, that's your opinion. This facts. In 2017, Life Issues Institute analyzed Planned Parenthood's placement of 25 new abortion megacenters and concluded that all of the facilities were within walking distances of minority neighborhoods. The institution further stated that 80% target black communities. Now, here's the editor of it. I have added this group to my prayer list as it is time to end abortion. Modern technology shows us exactly what has taken place during the stages of development, leaving all rational people to see that babies do suffer during the various procedures. We can and must do much better as a civilized society in protecting the most vulnerable. Included, that portion is from the writer of that article. But you got that? Did you hear that? Unbelievable. But what I want to deal with the last few minutes of this video, because I had to read that if there's so much valuable information there and valuable data. What I want to deal with is the black church. Yeah, I want to deal with the black church. Why? Because in a letter that I literally read on, you can Google it. And by the way, you can find the source in the description box below. So if you want to read this letter by Margaret Sangers yourself, you can do so. But she created a concept, a movement called the Negro Movement, which was a movement basically that promoted in the 1930s, that promoted this concept of abortion. And Margaret Sanger's, as the letter says, was she felt that blacks were inferior. But we're not going to get into all of that. But we're not going to get into all that. In the letter, she stated, and I'm going to paraphrase it, that she wrote this letter to a doctor who was apparently sick in 1938, 1939. And in this letter, she mentions the ministers need to be trained, I'm paraphrasing, need to be trained on how to convince their followers that there is not an attempt to completely exterminate black people from the face of the earth, although there was an attempt to exterminate them. There was an attempt to say, so you read the letter on your own. Now, there's some people I've read some articles and statements on Google that opposes that belief that she wanted to exterminate the black community. But I don't. If you read the letter, you can plainly see that that's what she was trying to do. Here's my deal. She convinced black ministers to support abortion. Now you say this is back in the 1930s. What about today? Because that explains why so many black churches in the community support abortion. It stems all the way back to the letter that Margaret Sanger wrote to that doctor on how to train black ministers to support this movement. It explains it. So right then and there, you have preachers in the church that are helping to contribute to the decline of the black community. And it mentions in that article about how that since 1973, 20 million babies have been aborted in the black community. In 1973, that was when abortion was made legal all over the state, all over the country. Here's what's interesting in that. I read another article, I can't remember, some years ago. In that article, it stated that since 1973, up until the present time, that 20 million something odd abortions within the black community, aborted babies in the black community, have decreased the black population by 25%. And what that suggests is that Margaret Sanger has been successful in eliminating or at least decreasing the black population. So this video is to any black minister that supports abortion. You need to repent. You're not going to get me to believe that God is sitting in heaven and saying it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Abortion is not a big deal. It's no big deal. You don't have to worry about it. It's no big deal. They're not born, so why worry about it? You're not going to get me to believe in the Old or New Testament that there is any justification for abortion. Period. Bottom line. And I'm speaking to the ministers, the black ministers in the community who are supporting this kind of mess. Not too long ago, I was watching, this is when Trump was trying to run again to be reelected. And there was this black minister. He was standing outside his church and he had on the board, I forget all the words, talking about Trump is a racist and Trump is a this, that, and the other. You a black minister and you standing outside your church preaching against Donald Trump. You should be preaching the word. And it's them kind of ministers that make me so angry. It's those kind of preachers that are ignorant and they need to be set down, who are supporting the very movement that's designed to destroy your group of people. Now, I don't know what Margaret Sanger did. I don't know if she gave him money or what. But if you that ignorant that you're willing to take money from somebody who wants to eliminate your people, then you shouldn't be preaching the word. You shouldn't be preaching the word. This infuriates me. It infuriates me. We got enough problems in the black community. And now we got preachers in the church supporting this evil satanic movement. I know y'all say, man, he's passionate about it. I'm passionate about it because it's the truth. And I come against it. And every preacher needs to repent. And I hope you get this video and I hope you hear it. This video needs to be shared in all the churches. And not only my video, but any video that exposes ministers that support abortion. Enough is enough. I read that woman's letter, so it was true. So forgive me, folks, but I don't like falsity. I don't like lies. I don't like deceivers. So what do you guys think about this letter that I just What do you guys think about this article that I just read to you? It's filled with statistical data. What do you think about this article? Listen, whatever your opinions is, leave your opinions in the comment box below, some comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, share this video. You guys know where I stand on this whole abortion thing. I think that it should be eradicated completely. You know, I don't agree with it at all, and I'm not going to argue with it with anybody. I'm through arguing. That's my stance. That's where it is. But particularly in the black community, because black history is coming up. Black history coming up. And I guarantee you, the mainstream media, CNNs, ABC, CBS, and the rest, I guarantee you, and I hope I'm wrong, but I guarantee you the main thing they're going to focus on is not successful black people and how black people in the past in America were able to overcome opposition and discrimination and so forth and become successful doctors and entrepreneurs and jazz singers and all the rest. That's not what they're going to focus on. You know what they're going to focus on? Slavery and discrimination and the KKK and how black people are so oppressed. It ticks me off. But we're going to focus on things that's going to better black people. And one of these things that's going to better black people in the black community is stop killing your kids. If you can't wait till you get married, keep your legs closed. It can be done. It can be done. Because there are people out here that's designed to eradicate you. And let me end this video on this. Guess which political party supports it? You already know. The Democratic Party, which 90% of blacks vote for. Think about that. But once again, whatever your comments are, leave your comments in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, share this video, and subscribe. God bless you all, and see you again.